All right. So this is an example. This is an example copy, a solution for task 4. So we're just going to go through now. We're going to have a look at the portfolio very briefly. Just again, another quick rundown on what we have to go through for this task. And then have a look at the style guide and see how items from the style guide marry up with this solution. So seeing the clear link between that style guide and this example solution. So scrolling down in our folio to task 4. All right. We know that this report is to accompany the instructional video. I went through that in detail in the how to prepare your report. Your report is to be prepared using the Australian Hardware Report template and follow the style guide extract for reports. The report must detail the following under the section headings listed in bold. So we will see all of these section headings within this solution, and you'll get an idea of exactly what information you need to include. There may also be, underneath some of these larger ones, there may also be some subheadings, and you'll see how they appear in this solution. You'll also see in the solution the introduction, so what's expected of you as part of that introduction, listing of further resources, and 2, something that we didn't touch on in the report video or in the last lesson was the tables and images. So what you can use the table, or what you can use tables and images for. You need to be including tables and images in your report. This is part of you demonstrating your skills, your ability to use tables effectively and insert images. And then, of course, headers and footers. How are they? How do they appear? All right. So let's quickly have a look at the style guide, or pull up the style guide extract, so that we can look at this as we go through the solution. We might just zoom out a little bit on the solution so we can see the whole first page. So this solution was how to use an iPad. Okay, how to use an iPad. I wasn't sure exactly which iPad it was, because we've got an iPad here in the department. It's a bit of an older iPad, so it doesn't have any of the flash stuff, but nevertheless it's a digital device we can create an instruction manual for, or a report for. It was written by me. Pretty simple there, just got to add your heading and your name. Our table of contents. A table of contents in the how to set up your report video shows exactly how to set this up. There was some confusion in a past lesson, or if you are having any confusion with setting up this table of contents, refer back to that how to set up the report, video. Okay. You'll notice that in this table of contents there's an indented camera settings there. That's a subheading. And to get the subheadings you use heading 2. Okay, use heading 2, which I do set up in the how to set up the reports video. That's automatically updated and shows all the page numbers of exactly where these items appear. How to use an iPad, you'll see that appears on the side there, the title, and then you've also got the name of the document. This name of the document is obviously different to what you need to name your project for. Your project for needs to appear with those names. Okay, final report or draft report. Okay, and then page number and initials or the author's name. So I've approved that you can use the quick field part, which I'll just do a reminder. I have referred to quick parts and field. You can insert author name. Okay, not author, sorry, just author. You can insert author over just a simple initial. Okay, I don't mind that, that's fine. If you scroll down, you'll see that the date created appears as well. We've got date created appears on each page. This was obviously created last year. Your introduction This guide has been produced to assist employees at Australian Hardware when using Apple iPads during general duties at all Australian Hardware stores and offices. Succinct and basic. Why, and like it says here, why was this report created? That's what you're putting into your introduction. Why was this report created? The next section, instruction manual. So as that appears here, instruction manual, it says that you need to locate an online source for the device's instruction manual and provide the URL. So for instruction manual, please click here. That does that hyperlink work? No, that hyperlink doesn't work. Hyperlink doesn't work in the PDF. However, though, in your Word document, you can provide, you can turn that into a hyperlink so that a person just, actually, no, it does work. It does work. Okay? You can click on it from the PDF. My mistake. So you create a hyperlink so that if somebody's reading this on their computer or even on the iPad itself, they can quite easily just click on that link and the instruction manual appears. You'll notice that under that, in smaller italic text, I have included the full URL, okay, exactly where to get it from. So sometimes hyperlinks, they might not work, okay, or somebody might have trouble opening them. It's very useful just to put the exact address underneath so that a person can then copy that and insert it into a web browser. So that's all you need to do for the instruction manual. Additional components. Detail additional components needed to use the device and what they are for, charger, headphones, etc. So these are the things that come with your device. Right? What are the extra components that come with your device or that are explicitly required in order to use it? Okay? So USB power adapter. So the following components will be included with the iPad. You can't use the iPad unless you've got a charge. Well, you can, but it's going to run out of battery. And USB cable for charging, and then of course connecting to a laptop or computer. Okay, so for downloading of images, movies, all that kind of stuff. As you can see, this is where we've inserted a table. This is where a table has been used, so we do need to ensure that we're inserting tables. And also following the style guide extract for tables, which is point number 5 in the style guide extract. Okay. Table borders to be black, 1 point thickness. Column headings to be aligned to the left and bold. Header rows and columns to be filled with logo pale blue. So notice that the colour here, logo pale blue, and then it's got coordinates for how to get that colour. In future lessons, you'll be shown how to do that. But that colour, that pale logo pale blue, is used there. I'll quickly show you how to get to get to colours. Okay, more colours. If you're selecting a colour in Microsoft Word, okay, whether it's in shading or when you're shading in a box, you can select a colour. You can select more colours and then go to custom and insert and type in the exact numbers. So red, R for red, 137, green, 192, and blue, 229. And that will give you the exact coordinates on this grid as to where that colour is. Alright, so that's how you select that correct colour. You'll notice the corporate colours are used down here, and it gives you a full listing of exactly what colours to use. So whenever you're selecting colour, whether it's a font, you can always select more colours. Whether you're filling in, whether you're using a theme colour or highlighting a box, you can always go to more colours, custom, and put in the exact colour that you want. What other items from the table there? Arial font size 10 should be used. Numbers within body cells to be aligned right. And that's about numbers and totals. So if you ever put any numbers in there, we'll refer back to that. Vertical line within the rows to be centered. So you need to make sure that these are always centered in the middle. So notice how USB power adapter, it doesn't appear in the top, it appears in the center of the cell. Okay, regardless of how big the cell is, it always appears in the center. Next section, referring now back to the portfolio. Device settings. Device settings. So we've got a couple of points here. List menu settings available in the main menu. explain what security features the device has, explain how the device can be configured to maximize battery life, and how to alter camera settings. So a straight up device settings which can be altered in an iPad are. So listing the menu settings there. Notice that even if there was space here at the bottom, you would push the security down to the bottom, okay, down onto the next page, right, using the insert page break. Okay, you make sure that you keep everything neat on the page. So you've got these 4 headings, they all appear here. If you had additional components and this was much larger, okay, you would ensure that device settings, you push it down onto the next page using page breaks. We don't click enter, 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 enter. You don't press enter over and over again to move things onto a next page. You use insert page break, and that will push down to the next page. If you put a whole heap of enters, it begins to get messy because you're inserting blank lines, and you don't want to insert blank lines. Security settings. The iPad has the following security features and settings. A table has been used again. You just need to make sure that matches the style guide extract. We've also got bullet points as well. To manage power and increase battery life, the following can be done. Camera settings. Settings for photos are in settings, photos, cameras. These include, and that lists out the settings that can be altered. Or how they can be altered. Sorry, that lists out the camera settings that can be altered. Notice that this image probably might have been able to fit on this page, but we've pushed it down so that it doesn't look cluttered. That's been included to help with how to actually take a photo from the photography section. How to take a photo, and there's a whole host of information there on exactly how to take a photo. A lot of this information will come from the actual instruction manual. Okay, from the instruction manual that you've provided here. The reason why, or the way that you can look at this as to why we're creating this additional, because if you look at it and you go, we've already got the instruction manual, this is very succinct to exact information that Australian Hardware staff need to know. Very exact. Okay? Instruction manuals are normally quite large. We're going through and putting in the exact information they need. So photography, a whole list there on how to take a photo and how to transfer photos from device to computer. Backup procedures detail the Australian Hardware procedures of data backup. So I haven't included that in the solution there. That can be found in the required documents section. There's a document there called computer policy in the required documents in Blackboard, which will tell you exactly what the backup procedures are. So you need to go and seek out that document. Last bit, nearly finished with the whole document. Connectivity, detail how to connect your device to external speakers. So you can do that via, you can write out, you can talk about how, and you can give a list of instructions. Or of course here images have been used, so a docked iPad, inserting an auxiliary cable to the iPad. So showing 2 different ways that you can connect to speakers. And then finally on the last page, how to shut down, detail how to close applications and shut down the device. And then finally, it's called conclusions here, but you can call it further resources, whichever. Provide a couple of websites which people can go to get further information. So during your research and looking for information about your digital device, save a couple of links, save a couple of websites which were really, really handy to you, and include those here in your further resources section. At least 3, but not limited to. And that is what your report should look like. Just addressing those who may be using an iPad as their device, and this solution being that it is for an iPad, you will need to ensure that your report does not mimic this report exactly. There's many things that you can do to ensure that. And anybody can make these changes, okay? Because it is your own report, you can creatively edit and make it look good based on your own requirements or your own desires. So use of a table, additional components does not necessarily have to be in a table. You may use a table to list your device settings. Okay? You may use a table to list camera settings. You might do your security settings in dot points. Okay? You might use dot points for your photography section. You might use a table for your photography section. You might do a write-up of how to connect. Okay? You would also need to make sure that you do not use the same images. Okay? The same images or the same, maybe not necessarily, of course, if you're using an Apple product, you're probably going to go to the apple.com. But ensuring that your further resources, the further websites that you can go to, you list some different ones as well. So this is being provided to you and shown to you to help you to understand exactly what's required, although those people who are doing an iPad or an iPhone or an iPod, your report must not mimic this report.